When Anthony Joshua, the two-time heavyweight boxing champ, was asked how he would fare in the UFC octagon, he admitted that he would probably struggle with the new sport. In fact, he said he would get his A expletive kicked in the octagon. Join us as we delve a little deeper into his thinking and also see the advice he was given by Johnny Nelson. First up, what is Joshua thinking? He's not only a double world champ in the ring, but also an Olympic gold medalist who famously kicked the legendary Vladimir Klitschko out and also beat Dillian White, the former MMA fighter, on the way to his belts. He has admitted that he would struggle a lot to make the UFC transition. In the UFC, elite-level MMA fighters have to work their way through the regional tournaments before they can compete. Joshua has said he has no real interest in getting involved in real UFC fighting. In the meantime, he is confident that the fight against Deontay Wilder will happen in 2023. What is the difference between a boxer crossing over to the UFC and an MMA fighter stepping into the ring? Stay with us, that's coming up shortly. Now, Tyson Fury has said he will never fight Joshua. During his interview about the UFC, Joshua also said he gives the fighters all credit, but it's not his profession. He will respect the lads that put in all the training, time, grappling, stand-up and takedown, and submission work, but he's going to stick with what he knows. He did add, however, that if any of the top MMA fighters were to ever make the switch from the octagon to the ring, he would turn them over without breaking a sweat. Francis Ngannou has expressed interest in fighting either Joshua, Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury in the ring. Joshua simply said that if they should come over to boxing, he would smoke them well. Tyson Fury, Joshua's longtime rival, has been teasing a UFC move. He recently offered an exhibition fight under hybrid rules against Ngannou. Back in April, after Dillian White got knocked out by Fury, the two went head-to-head in the ring at Wembley Stadium. This excited fans for a possible bout in the ring under boxing rules and with 4-ounce MMA gloves. This would also happen in a cage enclosure. Joshua's longtime rival Tyson Fury has frequently teased a move to the UFC, most recently offering a hybrid rules exhibition fight with Ngannou. The pair went head-to-head in the ring at Wembley Stadium back in April after Fury knocked out Dillian White, exciting fans for a potential bout where the pair would compete under boxing rules in 4-ounce MMA gloves within a cage enclosure. Fury has actually teased a complete move to the octagon. He trained with middleweight UFC fighter Darren Hill and claimed that he would be keen to make the transition. While he prepared to make his WWE debut against Braun Strowman, Fury said he was taking over all combat sports, and he said everybody should beware because the Gypsy King is on their trail. So why is this move different from others? Normally, when we see crossover fights between boxers and MMA stars, UFC fighters move to the boxing ring, not the other way around. Floyd Mayweather famously fought Conor McGregor in 2017. Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva went at it, and Jake Paul fought Ben Askren. When boxers switch the other way, successes vary. James Toney made the journey to the octagon for a one-off with Randy Couture back in 2010. He lost within seconds, submitting after a takedown. Exceptions exist though. When Holly Holm, the Hall of Fame boxer, switched,
she ended up toppling Ronda Rousey for the UFC Bantamweight Championship in 2015.
Fury is now hunting double the purse a fight against Joshua would bring in. For more, stay with us. That's coming up. Okay, but what was Johnny Nelson's advice to Joshua? Nelson said recently he believes Joshua should take time off to recharge. He said in an interview that he believes Joshua is still struggling with the demons that surfaced when he suffered 2 consecutive defeats against Alexander Usyk in August 2022. Nelson said Joshua should sit back, spend time at as many gyms as he can, immerse himself until he feels comfortable again, and then reset. When he gets to a point where he can tell himself, "I can do this," he should consider stepping back into the ring. According to Nelson, Joshua has had tremendous success in his career thus far. He started in the sport when he was 18. The 2 losses against Usyk broke him somewhat, according to Nelson, and he needs to get his strength and belief back. When he lost to Usyk in Jeddah, promoter Eddie Hearn said Joshua would probably look to go back to the UK before the end of 2022. It is clear Anthony Joshua's training situation is all over the place at the moment. He will not be able to return this year, and speculatively, the team is looking at Joshua's return in the spring of 2023. A week or so ago, the fighter confirmed that he has split with Robert Garcia, and this after Garcia only worked with the American for a single fight. Speculation about Joshua's next coach is rife, and names like Virgil Hunter, Derek James, and Roy Jones Jr. have all been linked to the position. A new trainer will be announced soon, and also a potential opponent, Nelson's advice notwithstanding. Now, Fury says he's earning twice Joshua's purse against Usyk. Next year, Fury, the current heavyweight world champ, will step into the ring for the undisputed title against Usyk. If this fight should land in the Middle East, it will probably earn him a record sum. If the fight goes ahead as planned, Fury, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, will face the Super Champion Usyk, holder of the unified WBO, WBA, and IFB titles in the Middle East. If this deal makes it to the other side of the line, Fury estimates it will be the most lucrative match in boxing, more so than the potential of a battle of Britain against Joshua. The two Brits were talking about fighting earlier this month, but the talks broke down because of various factors. Fury ended up at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Derek Chisora instead. He had a dominant victory in the trilogy bout and now has his sights on dethroning Usyk and becoming the undisputed #1 heavyweight in the world. To see why Joshua is keener for a bout against White than Fury, watch until the end of the video. Also, Fury says Joshua cried like a girl after losing. When Fury was asked about a possible fight against Joshua in a recent interview, he said he doesn't think it'll happen. If it were to happen, it would have been in December when Chisora stepped up, but right now, he's almost guaranteeing it won't take place. In the same way we didn't see Hatton Witter, Froch Kelsagi, or Amir Khan against any of them, this will not happen. Besides, says Fury, he's going to take on the man that beat Joshua twice, so where does that leave Joshua? Perhaps according to Fury, he is irrelevant in this context. He said again that he's about to knock out the man who beat Joshua twice. Fury was also asked if he would admit to the Joshua fight being the biggest in sport. Fury adamantly said it was not. Not nearly. It may be the biggest in the country, but not near the biggest fight in the world of boxing. However, the fight between him, Fury, and Usyk is another story altogether. It is a contest for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, and it will feature two undefeated fighters. In Joshua's case, it would feature a man who was beaten in 3 out of his last 5 outings. Meanwhile, Joshua provided details of how he would beat Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua has put out his blueprint for beating Fury in a massive super fight between the two Brits. A key component would be to study Tyson Fury's coach, he said. That would help him to beat his arch rival in a world heavyweight title. The two have been on a collision course for pretty much all of their respective careers, but there's never been a solid agreement to step into the ring together. For some reason, that fight has always been a bridge too far, and it still remains elusive. A date for the fight was booked in 2021, but Fury was forced out due to contractual issues, and the fight between them that was discussed for this month also broke down on short notice. Now Fury is competing for the undisputed heavyweight title in 2023, and Joshua needs to win a couple of times to make it back into contention. The fight may actually never happen. Finally, Joshua wants a White rematch more than a Fury fight. As far as swag goes, Joshua believes a White rematch would have higher stakes than the Tyson-Fury super fight. In British boxing, fans believe a fight between Joshua and Fury will be the biggest match of them all, and it has almost happened twice over the past years. But as far as intrigue is concerned, Joshua remains convinced there is more pizzazz in an all-London clash between White and him. The two have stepped into the ring together, both as amateurs and professionals. Joshua got handed his first loss by White when they were paired as up-and-coming amateurs in 2009. Then they met again 5 years later as pros, and Joshua avenged the 2009 results with a blistering knockout. That was in London at the O2 Arena for the Commonwealth title. Joshua is now proposing a trilogy of sorts. That would, according to him, be the most interesting fight. He says it has to be White. North London versus South London. Fury is from Manchester. He's good, but he's not from London, according to Joshua. Dillian is the one with more swag, even though he's come up short a couple of times. White and Joshua ran into each other in London recently, and a video appeared of the occasion. Fans wanted to know what they had to say to each other. Joshua said he told White he wasn't messing around. He wants the fight, and he wants it sooner rather than later. Then he admitted to messing around. He said he was joking, that he actually likes Dillian, and that they were only messing around. It was shortly after the White-Fury fight, and Dillian was telling Joshua what he'd gone through. A photograph of the meeting seems to show White putting Joshua under pressure, but Joshua assured his fans this wasn't the case. So, will the fight between Fury and Joshua ever take shape? Who knows? But we're out of here. Remember to hit like, follow, and subscribe, and keep your eyes open for our next contribution.